You claimed you never set foot. You went 40 plus. You sick bastard. You cook.
Yeah. We have all kinds of flora and fauna downtown today. What an absolutely wonderful summer day. Yes, we are officially in the summer. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, hey. Season 7, episode 13 already of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. We are brought to you by Home Hardware, supported by Virgin Insurance, Ready Bins, as we are powered by WeeStream, ensconced, as per usual, in this lovely location at 149 St. Paul Street. And what a great day it is. Fiddler's Poorhouse, ladies and gentlemen. These are your specialities for today. There we go. Wow, I'm speechless. I'm overwhelmed by finally this lovely weather that we have going here downtown. Have you ever heard of, and I've lived in Niagara a long time, have you ever heard of the Fort Erie International Academy? It was something that was relatively new to me, although it's been around for a while. And they are making some big time news across the country, especially with their basketball teams. We're going to talk with an associate coach of the FEIA in the next little while. Also, it's a big day for people that have been following a very disturbing story that happened a while ago in Niagara Falls. Daniel Senecal is going to be sentenced today, and we'll kind of revisit his story and what's going on today with that. And have you been following the Niagara Falls Ferris Wheel saga? Have you at all? Crazy. We're going to be talking about that too, and we'll have a couple of people on. So in about 30 seconds, we'll be back in here. So you come on in. Thanks for coming. And here we be, once again, on this beautiful June the 4th. How did first come out? June the 24th. 2026, an absolutely gorgeous day. Happy to be here, happy to have you along. I know it's been a little while since we've talked to you, maybe, 3 weeks this time. We have a lot of stuff going on, and the WeeStream gang has been busy. We'll talk about that with Kevin as the afternoon wears on. And summertime gets busy, people take vacations, they go away, stuff happens, and well, that's what's happened to us. So what we still try to do is still trying to give you a couple of glimpses per month, at least, of what's been happening and what's going to happen, and updates on what has happened long ago in Niagara. It's sort of past, present, future show here, all about Niagara, by Niagarans, for Niagara, and we're really happy to have you here. Before we go any further, though, what I'd really love to do is, if you're watching this, you're doing it on Niagara 411, right? So I would love you to just go up to that little squiggly arrow and give that a refresh, and then, oh, look who's there. It's us. So then you go down, and if you hit that little arrow to the left, it is a share thing. You don't have to make a comment. You can if you like, as long as it's nice. And then you hit just share now, and you've geometrically shared this feed with your fellow Niagarans. So we appreciate you doing that. Now, yes, we all know that the World Cup is going on, the beautiful game, as they say. I don't know why they call it beautiful, but if you do, that's awesome. Kevin, bring yourself on here. There you are. There's a guy that's promoting the country. I know I'm not dressed appropriately, but I don't do logos very much. So go Canada. Go Canada. Actually, I think Team Canada is doing a little bit better than people might have expected it to do from the offset, because we didn't actually qualify for this World Cup competition, but it looks like we're going to move on, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, big game this afternoon against Switzerland. Now we get to the final game of the group stage. So both games are going to be happening simultaneously. 3 o'clock kickoff, Canada v. Switzerland.
Yeah.
And the other will be Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Qatar.
Okay. Well,
But it
there
looks
you
like
go.
Canada's
There's
moving
your,
on.
There's your quick World Cup update. Now, what's that? What's the hat?
The hat there, Lee. This is celebrating St. Catherine's 150th.
But you got to get close. Yeah, the 150 doesn't. Oh, there you. Okay, all right. Oh, now I see how it's just the 150 doesn't show up that great. Nice hat though. All other things considered. Happy birthday, St. Catherine's.
Oh, I thought you were wishing me. My birthday was last Wednesday, so thank you,
I know
Lee.
it was last Wednesday.
Thank you, Lee.
How was your birthday? You spent an hour of. You only had 1 hour to yourself on your birthday. I understand, like 1 hour, and it was like the fan dome in Niagara Falls or something.
Yeah, I spent it in Niagara Falls at the FIFA Fan Fest, the Watch Zone, right there, in front of Queen Victoria Restaurant. It was fantastic. What a fantastic little venue there, and people might be going down there today. We are actually going to be going down there later today to talk to Heather Fraser about the future Queen Victoria Park.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a virtual visit to Queen Victoria Park because we're going to be talking Ferris wheels. God, who knew we needed so many Ferris wheels in Niagara? Now, before we get there, one of the other things is that more and more often, and with a great dispersion across media, social media, articles, prints, whatever, websites, we hear about AI. More and more and more. And it's fascinating on one level, and it's terrifying on another. Kevin pretty much scammed me today. He sort of just hooked me into this story. So I wanted to start off with this. Apparently, according to Kevin earlier today, when he's sort of like trying to reel me into, there's a new song out there by a couple of Canada's biggest artists, Justin Bieber and Tate McRae. Here it is.
Yes, it's a bit of a slow burn here at the beginning, Lee.
That's all right.
But this just showed up on my... Are we playing here or what? Oh, I don't know. I can't get it going now.
We don't have the audio.
Oh, what's going on?
I don't know. You tell me.
Try this again, Lee. Oh, here we go.
We got it?
Oh,
there we go.
Okay, so it's Justin Bieber featuring Tate McRae. There's Tate.
That's a pretty good song.
I really like the song.
Hey stranger, when you stop trying, did you give up or just go numb? Do you
Beautiful cinematography.
It's a really good song.
Or am I just the place you're from? Hey stranger,
whether you're a Bieber fan or not,
that's stuck in my head, Lee, this song. Watch it, it's in your work.
You have to admire his talent and where he came from. Stratford, doing stuff online on YouTube. Tate McRae, we're not as familiar with her background as we are Justin's, but
I mean, Tate's getting there. From Calgary.
From Calgary, yeah.
Yeah, was a dancer. Appeared on, I think, America's, whatever the dance show was.
Look at that. That's a pretty cool looking. But here's the kicker. That song doesn't exist. Entirely manufactured, generated by artificial intelligence.
further every
I've accused a lot of people when I was growing up that I met as having artificial intelligence. But that wouldn't be a legitimate complaint now. Artificial intelligence is pretty damned intelligent.
It's a great song, Lee.
But this opens. Listen.
Does the quiet feel like enough? Do you miss the way we used to be? Hey stranger, when did you stop?
It's so well produced.
So this just popped up on my YouTube feed. I'm like, oh, look at this. I'm a fan of Justin Bieber. I'm a fan of Tate McRae. And now they're together, two Canadian pop stars. This is fantastic. I didn't know they did any collabs.
Yeah.
So I listened to this video. I'm like,
Beautiful, beautiful shots of our gorgeous country.
and this isn't necessarily a red flag because maybe they haven't made an official video for this song yet.
Well, no. Look at this. But it's all fake.
The whole thing, fake.
Fake. How do we go forward? Here, like, wow. How do we go forward and trust anything we see, or hear, or feel even?
That's it, Lee. That's fake Justin Bieber.
Well, I was going to say unbelievable, but it's all too believable.
Well, I'll throw it up here for you, Lee. And the disturbing part is, like, if you're
fascinating and disturbing all at the same time.
Bieber, it's like, okay, here are the people that did it. These
Yeah, what's the name of the people that put it up?
Void Mix.
Void what?
I don't know. Void
Mix.
There you go. And look at how many different Tate McRae,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber,
And it's not,
Tate McRae.
it's not just that one video. It's all of these.
I just happened to see this one, Strangers, 242,000 views.
Now,
So
what do you
it's
do?
Probably
What-
the most popular of them. It's a great song.
What do you do?
Eminem featuring Rihanna.
These are big, big names in the world of entertainment. What do you do if you are Justin Bieber?
It's Tate McRae featuring Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, Rihanna. I mean, she's one of the first, billionaire female artists of all time? She has businesses all around the world. What do you do if you're somebody and people are stealing your, or I don't know if stealing is the right word, I guess it is, manipulating your image, your voice, your talent, your moves, they're manipulating it, and you've not had anything to do with it. You're not profiting from it. I don't know how the people, this Void Mix group, whoever the hell they are, I don't know how they're profiting from it.
Well, they're running ads, right? They're running ads, and that Bieber McRae song's got 242,000 views. Right?
And it'll
So they're profiting off of that.
We're helping it now go to probably over 1 million by just doing this piece.
Well, here, let's figure out what Eminem and Rihanna sounds like. I'm sure they're going to run an ad here.
Eminem and Rihanna. Here's one.
Yeah, let's see what this is. Here, I'll skip ahead to the media
Can't
part.
even spell it out. You're 600 miles from me. I'm 600 miles from who I was. I look at my own hands and they don't.
That's pretty close to Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
Pick the fight the night you wore that dress I picked for Christmas. The guy who said I'm fine and threw your suitcase.
Now, you
at
wouldn't
the
think
kitchen.
so, but
Not a bedroom entrance.
I am a
recognize
fan of
my voice the
Eminem.
way
I
you
think he's
twisted.
brilliant.
You flinched and I pretended that I missed
So
it.
my assumption is that this is also AI.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Has to be.
I was begging you to leave me, don't you get it? Heavy door slam was me confessing. I don't break the things I hate. I break
Now
the
let's
things
get. I got to get to a Rihanna part. She's probably in here in the chorus. Here we go.
Here she comes.
Fake Rihanna.
I love you and I hate that.
Doesn't this look like the same girl that was in the last video, though, the pictures? That's the same girl that was in the Bieber video.
So this is full on fake Eminem Rihanna.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is something that we just have to be so watchful of, and not that we can do an awful lot to control it, but I beseech you from the heart of my bottom, or something like that, to not believe anything that you see or hear until you have had it verified or somebody you trust verifies it for you. And this is why countries around the world are trying to ban access to the internet for children or young people. But that's not going to happen. The governments that are trying to ban internet access for like under 16-year-olds or whatever, it's tilting at windmills, it's red herrings, whatever metaphor you want to apply to it, because people 16 years of age and under are smarter than we are. The people that are supposedly making their rules, they're smarter than us. They're going to work around it. The point is, where the education needs to come in my humble opinion, as they say, is to try to educate our young people and ourselves at the same time of being skeptical of everything. Don't believe anything. Be skeptical of everything. Don't necessarily fight against everything you hear. Don't believe people that are conspiracy theorists and telling you that everybody in the government is crooked and ugly and horrible. But don't believe that everybody in the government is also good and wonderful and nice. Don't believe what people keep shoving down your throat. Any of it. Good, bad, indifferent. And I don't care whether it's COVID, I don't care whether it's vaccinations, I don't care whether it's who's building what down the street in Niagara Falls or Welland or whatever. Don't believe anything until you're comfortable with the fact that you actually are justified in believing it. Sponsorships, thank you very much. Grantham Home Hardware, Jake and Rob, for being our primary sponsor here. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian Grantham Home Hardware over there in the Grantham Plaza. You know where it is, at the corner of Vine and Scott, between Niagara. Just a great spot to go. And all of their summer sales are on right now. Tons and tons of stuff that you can find there at great prices. And yes, of course, it's gardening season too, right? Finally, able to get out and do a little bit of reasonable gardening after our fairly wet non-spring. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Grantham Home Hardware, for being here. Ready Bins Niagara, our newest sponsor on the program, Niagara's easiest bin and dumpster rentals. Sorry, Kevin, he threw up Verge Insurance. I got you. Verge Insurance, the broker for all of your insurance needs, home, as well as business and auto and life. They'll find what you need for your circumstances at the price you would like to pay. Thank you, Mark Shirk, for continuing to invest in our program as we continue to invest in you. 1953, Verge Insurance was founded, so they've been doing things right. And now I will do things in order and talk about Ready Bins. The bin, dumpster rentals, and junk removal, our newest and thankfully going to stick with us a while, sponsor. Niagara's easiest bin and dumpster rentals, all-inclusive pricing, fast delivery, all-inclusive low pricing, personalized service. If your situation is so unique that you have questions, give them a call anytime at all. Their bins fit in just about any space. You could park a small car. They can put something in there to help you either recycle your stuff or get rid of it all together. Okay, there is an organization, as I mentioned off the top, an educational facility here in Niagara called the Fort Erie International Academy. And I have a feeling that this is probably one of Niagara's best kept secrets. Steve Houston is an associate head coach of that organization, and they have achieved some fantastic things recently in the world of basketball. So we got a lot of things to talk to Steve about today. Steve, can you hear us loud and clear there, pal?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, I can indeed, and we can see you just as well. So happy to have you on the program. Great
Thanks for having me.
First of all, congratulations on the success of your program there with the basketball recently, and I want to talk about that in greater detail in a moment. But first, the thing that struck both Kevin and myself when we saw the good news about your basketball program hit the public waves is the Fort Erie International Academy. Can you please, I know you're not an official spokesman for the entire organization, but I guess today you are, because I'd like you to tell me a little bit more about what that actually is. What is the Academy?
Well, it's a full private school, like a true educational institution out in Fort Erie, right near Peace Bridge, about as far as you can get off the highway here. We have a lot of athletics, hockey, soccer, basketball, also a population of just regular international students and domestic students. And obviously me being the basketball coach here, one of the coaches here, I'm more heavily involved in the basketball side of things, which we're lucky enough to have some success so far.
How long has the FEIA been operating?
I just finished my 4th year. I want to say it's been 8 years total, and we just wrapped up our 5th year of the basketball program.
Wow. Now, first of all, the lead story was the fact that you guys won the AmeriCup Under 18 Championship basketball tournament on June the 7th in Mexico. And you've got a star player there, a fellow by the name of, if I'm pronouncing his name right, is Deng Nor.
Yeah, Deng and Gore.
Yeah, Deng and Nor. Okay. Wow. What it talk to us about that tournament, what it is, what you did, and just sort of shine a light on your experience for us.
Right. That was kind of a crazy experience. Obviously a wonderful experience, but it's still soaking in right now. Kind of the accomplishment of beating the Americans for gold, which has kind of never been done before by Canadians at the U18 event. The event's basically the best countries out of South America, North America, Central America, competing for spots in the World Cup, which will be next year, the U19 event. And to see Deng kind of hit the game-tying three with a minute left, and then the game-winning dunk with under a minute left, it's all pretty surreal right now still.
Wow. And how many teams, how many countries involved in this?
There's 8 teams in that event, and there's qualifier events leading up to that in December. So probably, I would say, close to 20 teams vying for those 8 spots, and then out of those 8 spots, 4 of them go to the World Cup next year.
And that's not the only basketball achievement that has happened as well. The younger ones did well as well.
Right.
Detail
so
that for us.
The U17 team.
The
The U17 team a few years ago with RJ Barrett won the gold medal at the World Cup, which was the first time ever for a Canadian team. The U19 World Cup, but RJ was a U17 player playing years up, leading that team to gold.
I have to ask this, and maybe you don't know, but why does this seem not only the basketball achievements, but the organization as an entity? Why do we not hear more about this? Obviously, it's been successful for some time. There's a lot of great programs that happen there, but it seems, as I mentioned earlier, almost like Niagara's best kept secret. We don't hear much about you guys.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. Like, a lot of people are kind of shocked when they hear Fort Erie's got one of the top basketball programs in North America. We do get a crowd, like a lot of students, and now it's starting to blow up a little bit with some locals attending games, but we'd love to have more Niagara region people out to our games. They're all free. Like all the home games are free to attend. It's a nice little environment there.
Yeah.
As opposed, like speaking to the success of the program, it's a full team effort from the coaches to the ownership of the school to the families that trust us to send their players from all across Canada and across the world. It's kind of hard to hit on one exact reason, but it's a full team effort across the board.
But and basketball is not the only. Obviously, it's the one as you as an assistant coach pay all your attention to. But there are other sports and other programs that this academy offers as well. Now, how do you recruit? I mean, this Deng, he made me laugh when I read his quote. Let me find it just to be sure I know what I'm saying. He said in this piece that I was reading on the site of the school, when I was young, my dream was to come to FEIA. Now, this was my favorite team ever. When he was young, he's in grade 11. he's talking like he's a veteran already and has been around for a gazillion years. And he was talking about when he was young. This kid's what, 6'8"?
Yeah.
Talk to me about him. Tell me about Deng.
Deng is a ball of energy. Every room he goes into, he lights it up with his energy. He's a big energy giver, very loud, lots of positive emotions. As much as he's a great basketball player, he's also a really great kid from a great family, who's just raised the right way and very respectful. When he steps on the court, you see the competitive side of him.
Right.
You see the mean aggression, competitiveness, but off the court, he's a really joy to coach and be around. I think that's why he's so successful, is his character and who he is inside in his heart and how he treats others. And I think he's reaping the rewards right now.
So this young man is obviously under 18 because that's the division that you just won the medal in. So he's what, 16, 17?
17.
Yeah, and he's from, if I'm not mistaken, Alberta?
Yep.
Now, there's another question for you, Steve. There are some fabulous athletes, and scholars for that matter, that attend the Fort Erie International Academy. Does the school actively recruit people, i.e. athletes? Are there scouts out there that you try to bring into your organization? How do you end up with this top-notch talent?
So a lot of the recruiting for us is through us coaches. We have connections throughout different club directors or scouts who are remote or agents who have players.
Okay.
And the reputation, as it's kind of built over the years, has had a lot of people come to us, which we're very lucky for, versus us searching. We have connections through Europe, South America, obviously across Canada and America, and we're just trying to find the right character, talent, and everything that combines to make our culture the best.
Who runs this organization? Who's the head? Where does the financing? Well, obviously it's a private school, so tuition accounts for, I'm sure, the lion's share of funding. But who's behind the organization as a management or operations group?
So we have an owner named Paul Liu. He's from the Niagara region as well. He's very, very supportive for us. Basically everything we need, he's very accommodating. You can always go into his office and talk to him. He's been nothing but great for us. Obviously, tuition pays for some of the stuff, but we've also sponsored by Adidas America, our basketball program, which helps us with gear, jerseys, travel, you name it. We play in a great league called the Grind Session in America, which is very supportive with us, which covers stuff like hotels, flights, etc. So we're very lucky that way, where it's a full team effort, from management to shoe sponsorships to league sponsorships across the board.
And what was the facility before FEIA moved into it? It looked like it was an old school that was maybe an old high school or something from the shots that I've seen. What was that? A lot of people, like I said, in Fort Erie and elsewhere wouldn't be familiar with it, but what did it used to be?
Right, as far as I know, it was just a public high school. Obviously, that was before my time here. I've been here for 4 or 5 years,
right.
But from information I've gathered, it was just before the new school, G-Fest, was created a few years ago. I want to say over a decade ago, and for a long time before that, it was a regular high school. And it's funny that we get some fans at our games who come up to us and say, hey, we went to this school. It's kind of crazy to see that you have this basketball program now. Like, we would never have imagined this 20, 30 years ago. We also have another ambassador of our program, Murda Beats. He's a music producer who's done stuff for like Travis Scott and some big time artists who went to the school and is from Fort Erie. And he went to that high school, and now he's our program ambassador. So it's kind of crazy how things come full circle.
There are music specialty programs there too, right?
I think they're in the process of trying to create that right now. As far
Okay.
as last year, that kind of got in the works, and I think this year they're trying to move forward with some next steps towards that program.
Let's personalize this a little bit. Who is Steve Houston? Where did you come from, and how did you work your way into what is, I think, kind of a prestigious position with a pretty prestigious organization? Who are you?
Right. So I'm obviously Steve Houston. I used to play basketball in college. I'm from Oakville, Ontario, so about an hour away. Been coaching now for 6-7 years. The person who started the basketball program at FIA is Charles Hantamakos. The first year there, he obviously put a lot of time and effort into that program to build it what it was that first year, and he discovered me a year later just watching me coach a game in Burlington, exchange numbers. They wanted to expand the program, create more teams, so he gave me a call, offered me a position, and then from there we took it and run with it.
Okay, I still want to. People like yourself are very humble and they don't want to blow their own horns, but you sort of skimmed by a lot of years there from being born in Oakville to becoming a basketball coach, and you said obviously you played basketball. Walk us through your career. Who did you play basketball for? How did you advance through the ranks to where you are today? Because a lot of people would like to follow your path. I know that.
Got it. So I played in Oakville at Abbey Park High School. Played rep club basketball in that area as well. After high school's done, I played at St. Lawrence College out in Kingston. Played there for a few years. I knew pretty quickly I wanted to get into coaching. Just like the tactician side of things, helping guys advance their career, helping them obtain scholarships. Obviously very competitive, love to win and hate to lose. From there, I came back to Oakville. Started coaching with this club called Burlington Force. Just a regular OBA club, low-level basketball. And then I went into my high school, Abbey Park, and asked them, hey, I'd love to come back and coach a team here. So they said, okay, you can come coach a junior team. That year prior, they only won one game.
Wow.
They kind of struggled, and then this year, my first year there, we ended up making the championship. We had some really good players.
Wow.
Lots of talent on the team, so it was a big rebuild. So from that kind of turnaround, really sparked me to think maybe I know what I'm doing a little bit. Then I learned that for the next few years, I don't know anything at all. Spent the next few years trying to learn as much as I can, still in that mode, but obviously I've had some success. I went to a different club called Burl Oak, started a prep program there. We ended up winning 30 games that first year. And then from there I went to Fort Erie. Had some success at Fort Erie, won a couple Coach of the Year awards, but honestly that's all because of the players, all the owner of the school, Charles giving me the opportunity.
Obviously you need the talent on the team, but it's not all because of the players. The coaching style and relationship with players is a big deal. Kevin, did you have something you want to offer?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to dovetail on that about the talent. You talked about R.J. Barrett coming through there. I mean, now, stalwart NBAer. What are some of the names, and what's the next step for these guys? I know, FEIA hasn't been around forever, so watching that arcing journey into 10-year NBA veteran is still a few years away, but what are some of the names, and where are these guys going? Is it Division I?
Yeah, so RJ didn't go to Fort Erie. RJ went to Montford.
Okay.
Sorry, when I'm speaking about that was towards Team Canada.
Okay, sorry about that.
But Leonard Miller came through the program, who's with the Chicago Bulls now. Charles coached him that first year. He went straight to the G League Ignite, which is a program. He had the option to go to like Kentucky, Gonzaga. He ended up choosing the NBA G League. A lot of our guys go Division I. I want to say we had 22 guys playing NCAA last year at all levels, from high major Division I to low major Division I. A lot of these guys are very blessed now to get a lot of NIL money because the NCAA game has changed. A lot of our guys go U Sports, Canadian University, so we cater to everybody, whatever level you believe will get you in front of those scouts, coaches, assistant coaches, whatever it may be. And believe it or not, in our gym, we probably had over 200 NCAA coaches in that small Fort Erie gym over the past 4
that's
years.
awesome.
I think so. Who do you guys play against? I know the prep school thing, people that haven't been following sports recently, it's really been welcomed and kind of brought into the more traditional channels. So who do you guys play against? Are you playing against OBA teams? Is it strictly American prep schools? Or talk about that.
So we play against Canadian prep schools and American prep schools. There's this league in Canada called the OSBA and another league called the MPA. We play in both of those leagues, which is all the top schools in Canada. And then we play in American prep schools in the grind session, which is probably the most competitive league in North America. And then we play some showcase events in the States just to get our guys recruited.
Steve, when I was perusing the various articles about your organization and the team and the players, et cetera, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am, did I come across a line or some connection between one of your players or your team or something and the young phenom that was the number 1 draft pick in the NBA last night? Is there some connection there somewhere?
Yep, that would be Deng again.
It is Deng again?
Yeah. Deng had a couple good games versus AJ DeBonsa, who was the number 1 pick in the draft last night. Ended up beating him twice his first year at FIA.
All right, so I'm glad I wasn't imagining it.
Yeah, so we played 3 of the top 6 picks these past 2 years in the draft last night.
Wow. Okay, so what are the aspirations now of, well, this is a two-part question, I'm sorry. First of all, for the players that come and obviously they get an academic education at FIA as well as a sports education, correct? I mean, there's an academic portfolio here.
Yeah, there's a whole nother rabbit hole I can go down of how good the academics are there and the living and the food and the teachers and the tutoring and all that, but it's a full private school.
Yes. So, the two-part question is this. Aspirations of these students that attend plus excel at sports, where do they want to take their careers? And it's probably they probably want to all go in different directions, but sorry, I'm confusing the question. Where do the athletes want to go? And then you and the other faculty as coaches, where do you want to go from here? What's your ultimate goal, or is there one?
Right. So the players, obviously, for basketball side, it's Division I, and then from Division I to try and go pro. For hockey, I'm sure it's a little different because you've got the OHL and the WHL, the CHL stuff. So their path's a little different, but I would say to sum up that answer, it'd be to move on to the next level, whatever next level that may be between college or junior hockey.
Right.
For us faculty, it's not like we're looking to leave or move on necessarily at Fort Erie, but you do get those phone calls of going to Division I schools or overseas pro or maybe the CBL, the Canadian Professional League here. Opportunities like that arise. Charles, who was at Fort Erie, he ended up moving on to Division I to Pacific University this past year. So that is a clear pathway because I think a lot of our players go there. So the coaches and the organizations there see coaches like us who can come in and have experience with those type of players or help them recruit.
Wow. Okay. We're going to let you go because I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, and I probably have 1,000 questions I could ask you. But Steve Houston, congratulations on a great career of your own so far, and I know it's not even close to being over yet. And the championships and the success of the basketball program at FIA and the organization in general. Just send the message out there to your comrades in arms at the school that we'd like to hear more about what it is you guys do and how you do it and what's going on in our lovely town of Fort Erie. So thanks for being here and congratulations again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'd love to have you guys out to a game if I can send you our schedule and we can meet up there.
Absolutely. You know how to find us.
For sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Steve. What a cool story, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I've been waiting for a reason to interview those guys for a while, and they just won that gold medal that was just earlier this month in Mexico.
And it's not the first gold medal that school has won.
Not at all. So, literally some of the best young talent is flowing through Fort Erie, and I don't think people in Niagara have any clue.
I admit.
And it's not our fault. It's
I had no clue either. That was just. Congratulations. Gosh darn it, that's good.
But I mean, he talked about the credentials, and you're right, NBA draft last night, and there you go. I mean, I guess their top star right now shut down the number one guy. He played what they say, that the Fort Erie International Academy has played against 3 of the top 6 picks in the last 2 years.
And
this is top-notch
and
stuff.
Ding beat the number 1 draft pick twice.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of talent. Now, can you imagine a young man, what your life challenges are when you're that tall? I remember reading stories about basketball players years ago. When I used to follow basketball a lot more than I do now, I played it a little bit, not very well, but I played it a little bit. But Deng is 6'8", and he's 17 years old. And obviously, he's not just tall; he's skilled tall. I mean, it's one thing about being tall. I mean, think of remember Knut Boll? back in the day.
Yeah.
He was like 800 feet tall, but he didn't last very long. He was just he was a novelty, and he didn't even have to jump to put the ball in the net. But Knut Boll was a flash in the pan. Somebody like this young man has the skills to go along with the height. But can you imagine living in a world where you're 6'8"? How do you function? Airlines would be impossible, except unless you're paying first class, and even then you'd be cramped for space.
I always wonder about the beds.
Hey?
I always wonder about the beds.
The beds. There's the basic thing right there. What do you get to sleep on where you can stretch out and be comfortable when you're 6'8"?
And then you're an athlete, so you're traveling, so you're in hotels a lot and things like this. They're not going to have 6'8" beds.
It's not a trip to the beach, really, to be that tall. It comes with its challenges. So anyway, congratulations to the whole Fort Erie crowd and to the organization, etc. So here we go. This has been something that has been the topic of consideration, or conversation, topic of conversation around dining room tables and boardroom tables and office desks, etc. for quite some time, since the idea was first floated by the Ford government to put in a new Ferris wheel on the falls side of Canada in Queen Victoria Park. Well, the deadline has arrived. Was it today, Kevin? For proposals to build the Ford government's observation wheel in Niagara.
The RFP closed yesterday.
Yeah, RFP. Heather Fraser joins us now from Queen Victoria Park. Hey, Heather, how are you today?
Hi, Lee. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm doing all right.
You are more than welcome. You are in a lovely setting there. Where exactly are you?
So I have found one of my favorite spots along Niagara Parkway, the corridor, if you will. It's tucked in back along the tree line. I'm sitting with my back up against one of the old, I think it's a cistern or like a well.
Okay.
I'm looking ahead at the Toronto Power Station Boutique Hotel development. So Dufferin Islands is to the right of me.
Okay.
But why I love it here, Lee, is in behind. I'm a bit of a fungi forager, and there's a flush of elm oyster mushrooms that I had my eye on for a bit. So, yeah, it's a beautiful place to sit and just relax. And some blue jays were squawking, and
nice.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Nice. Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. Now, you're obviously a citizen of Niagara, a local artist, and one of the folks that has sort of jumped on, I don't want to call it a bandwagon because it's a pretty interesting movement about this concept of bringing a new Ferris wheel to Niagara. How are you involved with this topic, and what can you shed some light on it for us?
Well, I think it's okay to be on a bandwagon. I think that's how we make effective change. It's the power of the people. I was born and raised in Niagara Falls. My very first job was on Clifton Hill at the Guinness World Records Museum.
Cool.
But the thing that keeps me back is walking along the Niagara Parkway, all the way from the Botanical Gardens, Dufferin Islands, Queen Victoria Park. Went to as many New Year's Eve concerts as I can remember at the park. Dufferin Islands has species of birds that migrate here. Nature is the draw. It is the reason why 14 to 20 million people come every year. Mm-hmm. They arrive to participate in a natural wonder experience. So it's not just me who cares about preservation of this, but we're observing a shift in the Niagara Parks Commission mandate that is alarming. If we can just get right into it, I popped into the Niagara Parks Commission website today just to see, what the marketing, what are they saying? And, they're not even standing by their own words, their own mandates. So when you come to a new city or you come to Niagara Falls, the key word being Niagara Falls, why are you coming? Well, you're coming to see the water, right? So when I look at the website here, their values and guiding principles, it says right here, the very first line is, the Queen Victoria Park is a collection of iconic green spaces, attractions and landmarks bounded by the Horseshoe Falls and popular Falls View Tourist District. with a mandate to preserve and promote. We want people to walk through the park, use the park benches, well-groomed lawns, which offer an ideal spot to relax and take memorable photos. Regarded for decades as an international gathering place for guests looking for the natural beauty. So put your money where your mouth is. Under Destination Niagara, which is a provincial initiative to have visitor retention, our city seems on board to put bids for attractions. So the Ferris wheel, I think I'll ask you, Lee, what you think. I think the Ferris wheel is been poo-pooed enough. Enough people have said we don't want that. Right. But the concern amongst us is, if not a Ferris wheel, then what? They're not saying nothing will go there. So that's the concern, is that a green space, a park, it has inherent worth, and that's worth speaking up about. Okay. What are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing much of the same thing. I have to push back a little bit because the Niagara Parks Commission I've been involved with the Niagara Parks Commission and from the media perspective and local community perspective for a long time, and I actually believe the people on the board of the Niagara Parks Commission have those principles at heart. I really believe that's true.
But at heart doesn't translate into action.
But however, just hear me out here for a second. The Ferris wheel idea was not floated by the Niagara Parks Commission. It was floated by the premier of this province. Now, I realize that the Niagara Parks Commission comes under the auspices of the Ontario provincial government. However, this wasn't something that was initiated by the Niagara Parks Commission. It was initiated by our premier. There's a difference.
Right. Thank you for that. Yeah.
So.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. So I think we have to put. I mean, as they say, perspective is a wonderful thing. What I'm hearing, you asked me what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing and kind of what I believe is, I'm not against development for tourism and et cetera. I believe in the green spaces. I think what they've done, when I was a kid, you could park all the way up and down the parkway by Table Rock and the Falls and Victoria Park. It was jammed with cars. Today, there's more green space available to people to walk than there ever was before, because now you can't park in as many places, and there's WeGo transportation, and there's shuttle transportation to the various activities and attractions from parking lots. So I think they've done a great job over the years expanding as much open space as they could. Perhaps they could have done better, perhaps not. But what I'm hearing, Heather, is the fact that we already have a Ferris wheel. We have a big Ferris wheel. It's right there in Clifton Hill. I have been in it 3 or 4 times over the last number of years. It's a great Ferris wheel. It's great views. What do we need?
I enjoy it as well.
And irrespective of your concept of how green space or tourist space should be developed, the issue is, do we need another Ferris wheel? I mean, that's what people that I'm talking to talk about, is not necessarily the mandate of the Niagara Parks Commission, but hey, Mr. Government, back off on the Ferris wheel thing. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, also hearing that as well. And I love that you bring the nuanced dynamic to just how this is a multi-tiered fabric of decision makers, stakeholders, overall perspectives, and individual niche desires. So I really agree with that. When it comes to Ferris wheel and attraction development, within that, that block, that rectangle there, a Ferris wheel, I'm hearing, maybe you're hearing this as well, is that Marineland is a beautiful, could be a great place to build up under that initiative. And I do like what you're saying about, I'm hearing what you're saying about doing a good space in terms of connectivity with WeGo and accessible green spaces. From a walker's perspective, it's still really challenging in those ways, but there are improvements. There's some great things, but also for a park, there's no benches, there's no shade. So do we need a Ferris wheel? Well, we're hearing the same thing. No, we don't. No. Do we need anything there? And if we're going to develop, which again, we don't have to be anti-development, but I think we can be outside of the box development.
Yes.
I think we can look to other cities who are prioritizing nature as the ticket spot, like ice skating on the Rideau, Vancouver, places that use the nature as the marketing and then enhance that.
I'm not suggesting for a second that we do like the Joni Mitchell song, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Back in the day, she wrote that line and it stayed with us forever. Well, we don't want to pave paradise. We don't want to just put up more parking lots, and I don't think that anything. You said, should we put anything there? To be perfectly honest, Heather, I agree with you. I think it's fine, just the way it is. It's beautiful. It's a nice walk, and believe me, we have enough attractions in and around Niagara Falls, and when you add to that other places around Niagara as an entire region, that I don't think we need to put up any more apparatus in Queen Victoria Park. I agree with that.
I like that you use that word.
Yeah, I think it's because who knows what apparatus could go up. Could be anything.
Right, well, I mean, observation tower, spear, zip line, so a park can be valuable. It can be mixed use. Could we consider mixed usage? Could we open back up to events, an event roster throughout the year with, daytime green space for the public, nighttime concerts? Some are ticketed, some are public free. I think we could use that space in beautiful ways without a ticketed attraction that is put there.
I don't disagree. I do agree that there are some elements of what the Niagara Parks Commission has done with some of their attractions, like the power station. Who knows where you are right now, where that new hotel is supposed to be going up. It'll be interesting to see how that development proceeds, and then the Niagara Takes Flight attraction, and even the Aero car that has been around for decades and decades and decades. I was talking to somebody the other day. I've lived here all my life, and for the first time, I went to the Aero car.
Did you enjoy it?
Well, I did that last year for the first time, and then this other friend of mine a few days ago thought it was great. So we have enough to keep us busy in Niagara without adding a whole lot more that takes away from, as you were talking about, the natural aspect of our beautiful area. So I think we're good the way we are, frankly.
So what do we do in your, experience and knowledge with the decision makers?
I think we're doing it.
I think we're doing it.
I think the message is, to be perfectly honest, and I'll eat my straw hat if I'm wrong, but I really don't think that we're going to see a Ferris wheel in Niagara Falls. I think the pressure has come to bear from community voices and political opponents, etc. Not to make it a political thing, but everything like this turns political at some level. But
it is political inherently.
Yeah. I think the message is getting through. I feel, Heather, that the message is getting through, and with the number of people that we have that stream this program every week, and with the efforts of people like yourself and David Green and others, and even MPP Wayne Gates that keeps railing in Parliament about the thing. Not to promote any politician, because we don't do that, but it's a thing in Niagara, and I do have faith. I could be terribly naive, but I do have faith that eventually our politicians will listen. I think.
I love that level of hope, and thank you again for entertaining this. It's not just a hot topic. It really matters to a lot of people, tourists alike. I ran into 3 gentlemen. I was here yesterday. 3 gentlemen on motorcycles, 2 Kawasaki's and a BMW.
Okay.
They were on a road trip from Utah. And I said, so what brings you here? And they looked at me like I had a third eye. They're like, duh, like we're here for the waterfall. We're here for the natural beauty,
right.
And so that is the draw. Do you think, in your experience, knowing what you know, Lee, do you think something will go in there? Is there a likelihood we'll see park amendments?
I don't see it. Heather, we got to go. But thank
you so much.
Thanks for being here and joining us from the beautiful parkway around Dufferin Islands and across from the gorge there. Appreciate nice having you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Take care, guys.
You're welcome. There we are, our bird's eye view of our lovely 149 St. Paul Street location of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. This is Season 7, Episode 13. We are brought to you by Grantham Home Hardware. Jake and Rob, thank you very much for continuing to be the popular keynote sponsor of this program, as well as Verge Insurance Group. Ready Bins Niagara. Check them out if you have any need to junk something or move something or disassemble something and move it. Ready Bins Niagara.ca. Okay, so thanks for that.
Lee, speaking of bad ideas, let me throw one on the screen here for you.
Oh yeah. This is so.
And just we got Alicia Gugu. We're going to talk to her in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Looking forward to having.
I think we had enough time to kind of rehash this whole thing.
Looking forward to having Alicia Gugu back on the program, founder of Our Hearts on Our Sleeve, and a story that is very, very current to today. So, the town of Grimsby, is it a town or is it a city? It's a town, right?
It's a town.
Yeah. The town of Grimsby underwent an initiative, as per the council, to redesign the Grimsby logo. As you can well imagine, and are already no doubt well aware, Grimsby has been one of the fastest growing communities in the Niagara region. Mainly, I would think, to do with the number of commuters that want to live in a less expensive area than the GTA, and they just sort of absorb into the Niagara region. Well, it's a great town, great stuff. They got Grimsby on the lake now. Like, who knew there would be another on the lake town in Niagara? So Grimsby has grown exponentially over the last little while. We even did I was the commentator for the WeeStream of their Santa Claus parade this past year. Great spot. However, into every life a little rain must fall. So the council undertook to give some company a mandate to redo or reinvent a logo for the town of Grimsby. What you are looking at on the right side of your screen is the result of that commission for very, very apparently talented and experienced artists and innovators of the invention of artwork and logos and visions. Well, that's it. That thing that is on the left side of the word Grimsby, and to me it looks actually like it would have been a good logo for the World Cup. Because to me, it looks kind of like a stylized basket or a soccer ball. That's what it kind of looks like to me.
I thought it was like the claw of a crab.
It could be a claw, yeah, or like.
One thing it does not do though is scream Grimsby.
It doesn't scream Grimsby, and it wasn't. Frankly, Kevin, it wasn't until you pointed out to me what the intent was that it is a stylized G. I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it to me. Now, if you look at it and you expand your little gray cells a little bit, you might be able to grab onto the concept that this is some sort of stylization of the letter G. the capital letter G.
Guess I
Which
can
in theory,
get there.
in theory, it's not a bad idea, but I think the artist's interpretation of what their job was went a little too deep for most of the citizenry to grab a hold of. So now, what is the status now, Kevin? You're familiar with this, with the town council side of this.
Yeah, so town council actually sent it back. So kudos to them. They sent
for
it. They sent
them.
it back to the consulting firm or whatever the designing, the branding firm is that they used, and said, "Yeah, you gotta come up with something different." One quote that I read about it this morning, Lee said, "Congratulations, you managed to unify the residents of Grimsby. Unfortunately, they're all unified that everybody hates this new brand.
They're unified in the negative.
Yeah, it's hard to unify everyone, and they didn't like this slogan, like no other."
Yeah, that's the new slogan too. Not only a new logo, but a new slogan, like no other.
I mean,
wow, that
looks-
really sums up Grimsby.
I'll be honest, that looks terrible.
Yeah, it's
I know it's easy to be critical. You know, Welland just went through a rebranding, and I kind of like how it looks. You always question, what do you just spend $60,000 on a stylized W?
I was going to.
All right, fine.
I was going to ask you, do we know how much was spent to the development company or the?
I believe it was $60,000 was set aside in the budget. Whether or not that's what they spent, I don't really know, but $60,000 was the initial.
And it's shown there on the side of a van. I'm assuming that was some sort of computer generated vision, not an actual van that they've put it on.
Yeah, this hasn't really come to life yet. But I mean,
well, I think it's going to die an early death.
What is that? I mean, maybe
A
I'm
shopping
wrong.
bag. Do you know how much these advertising agencies spend? How much time they spend on doing stuff like that to try to sell people on their vision? I've been involved in media a long time. I've worked with advertising agencies for decades, more years than I care to admit. And sometimes the brain trusts that work behind the scenes in these advertising and marketing agencies are very strange people. A lot of them are awesome, don't get me wrong, but some of them just get a little bit too deep into their own psyches to really connect with the audience that they're trying to communicate with. And this is a primary example of that one. So, okay. There was a very disturbing story that we've covered on this program and all through the media. How long ago was it, Kevin, that Daniel Senecal committed this crime?
Over a year. We're talking 2025. I know that calendar year, but you know what?
But he'd done this before.
Remember, we had the mother on of the child who was the first victim.
Yeah.
And then he's let out in the public to reoffend. It's terrible.
So, before we go too deep into this, we'll bring somebody on who can go even deeper. Is Alicia Gugu. She is founder of Our Hearts on Our Sleeve. And Alicia, we've chatted with you before. Can you read us okay? We're all right? We have you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Can you see?
Okay, we've got half of your face and
How are you?
we've got half of your face and half of somebody else's. Somebody needs to be in front of the camera. Perhaps you, Alicia.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
There you go. Pardon?
I'm Melissa Gugu, Alicia's sister.
Oh, hi.
Melissa Gugu, Alicia's sister.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right, there we are. So, Alicia, today is a very big day. Walk us through what is happening today.
Today?
Okay, well, let's go back then.
Daniel Senecal have pled guilty. Okay, yes.
We're having a hard time here.
Sorry, I don't know if you're freezing up on me.
No,
Yeah,
we got
I don't know
you
if you're
clear,
freezing
but
up on me.
we got you clear, Alicia. But your voice isn't coming through that great. So just try and make sure that you're speaking loudly and into your phone. And just to mix up here, but I think the day of significance, there's one coming up in July for sentencing, but I think we've got to rewind about 24 hours because yesterday was his first court appearance. Is his first court appearance, or you were there yesterday, right? Let's go with that.
Yeah, it was not his first court appearance. It's been remanded over the period of 10 months. So it's been a 10-month process. And yesterday was a resolution where he had pled guilty to most of the charges. So he will appear again on the 21st of July, and I believe his sentencing will be on the 23rd. So there'll be court the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and my understanding is the 23rd is the date that he will be sentenced.
So, and he has pled guilty, so there is not going to be any sort of extended trial.
So there are still some outstanding charges that he has not pled to. I can't get into specific details, but there was, he has been charged with possession of CSAM material on his phone. So there's still those outstanding charges that need to be, that he needs to be convicted of.
Okay. So, what? Tell me again. Sorry, this chat is a little bit broken up. I apologize, but I'm having a hard time putting some of these pieces.
Yeah, I'm not too sure which
together. Why are
what's going on?
Sorry, why are you and your Hearts on Our Sleeves organization, why are you involved in this? Why are we talking to you about this? Walk us through your background and leading up to what the meaning of what it is your organization is doing, what you're trying to accomplish here. Because it's a bigger story than just him.
Yes, unfortunately. Child sexual exploitation is very prominent. We're hearing about it every single day in the Niagara region. My sister and I are both victims of child sexual violence. Our file was destroyed at the Niagara Regional Police Department in the basement when they used to keep files on paper at the time before they transitioned to CPEC. It was destroyed in a flood, so ultimately we feel like there was a sense of immunity when our offender was not fully convicted or prosecuted due to that destroyed file, and we had to go through the whole process of going through the whole what do you call it? Yeah, we had to go through the whole process of. Sorry, it's so loud in here.
Where are you?
We're at Starbucks.
Okay. Well, that's the worst place
Anyways,
to do an interview
go
from. I gotta tell you.
Again.
Okay, I'm going to let you go, frankly, Alicia, because we're a little bit disjointed here. But I appreciate your coming on. I appreciate you giving us a bit of an update, and we'll chat another time when it's a little bit easier. Okay? Thanks.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. It is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you. Okay. I wasn't going to put up with that environment any longer. Sorry. I apologize if I ticked some people off, but it was annoying me, to be perfectly honest.
we tried, but I think you nailed it on the head. Yes,
it was
Starbucks
annoying.
Probably the worst place.
And if it was annoying me, I'm sure it was annoying you.
But it was significant yesterday that it went before a judge, and he did plead guilty. If there is a silver lining here, at least we don't have to drag the victims through an elongated court case where we have to rehash all the facts and debate it in front of a judge. Sentencing is coming up later on in July. As she mentioned, it's 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I'm not totally familiar with the court system as to why it's not a particular date and it's kind of a date range.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. But this case, and I think this is where you were trying to guide Alicia in the conversation.
I was trying to get there.
Alicia, when she joined us on the last time she joined us, was talking about a private member's bill that Fred Davies has put forward.
Yeah, that's why I was
trying to strengthen the laws for child sex offenders.
Yes.
And stand up for victims. And from what we understand from the timing of things is that there is a law that is going into place. I don't know whether or not this was the private members bill.
Right.
That will take effect about a week prior to Daniel's sentencing.
Right.
So whether or not the new laws will actually apply to his sentence or whether it's retroactive to the day he was arrested, the day the crime was committed, I'm not really sure about all that stuff. That's for the lawyers to figure out.
Yeah, that was you're right, Kevin. That was kind of the impetus behind where we were trying to go with this. And Fred Davies put the private members bill in place. And the umbrella conversation here is stricter sentences, longer lasting for pedophiles and child molesters. And the Daniel
Daniel Cynical
thing was the fact that if the exact story that focused us on having this conversation in the first place.
Yeah, it was that guy.
Ago,
that guy there.
Yeah, him. Was he broke into or entered a house, and while the family was there, sexually assaulted an under 5-year-old child. And the internet, the social media, the society as a whole just blew up, and that's what led us to this. In case you were not quite focused on exactly the story that was the catalyst, or I guess the straw that broke the camel's back, as they might say. And what came out at the time as well is the fact that this person, if you want to call him a person or a human, I don't know, this wasn't the first type of incident that he'd been involved with. This wasn't the first incident. So it was something that he'd been involved with over the course of a number of years, as the story goes, which is why it expanded into a bill that would make this type of crime, not just because of this guy, but because of other people that commit these kinds of crimes, are more authoritatively and drastically dealt with. That's the whole point of the story as a whole. So that's where we were trying to go, Kev.
Yeah, well, Lee, let's go somewhere a little more uplifting.
Yes, let's do that.
And this was a kind of a surprise flyover of Niagara Falls last Wednesday.
And this dovetails into me wanting to ask you about WeeStream, but this video was actually originated from WeeStream. Kevin, Jack, Brandon Scram, the co-founders and co-owners of WeeStream. That's our beautiful B-52 in the front, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And Canada's snowbirds following suit. Now, how did this come about, Kevin?
Well, I don't know what led up to it, but there was a social media post the morning of saying, hey, heads up, at around 2:45 this afternoon, the B-52 bomber and the snowbirds are going to make a couple of passes over Niagara Falls. That's all we really got. So,
how did you get that?
Well, Brandon and I were working last week for Mount Carmel.
Right.
So this is in the Mount Carmel parking lot in Niagara Falls, which is right across from the convention center.
Yeah.
If you've never been to Mount Carmel, you gotta make it a stop in Niagara Falls. It's such a beautiful facility. And then Brandon just looked up on his phone, and believe it or not, anything's available on the internet these days.
Right.
Snowbird tracker. Sure. And you go, oh, look. And Brandon says, I think if we go into the parking lot right now, in about 3 minutes, these snowbirds are going to pass right over our heads.
And he was right.
And that was the first pass. The second pass, which I don't have video of right now, the second pass, the B-52 bomber, instead of here, see how he's distanced out front? The second pass, the bomber was surrounded. He was kind of the nose of the collective.
Wow.
So the snowbirds were surrounding the B-52. And I got to say, I like that formation a little more. No, not exactly sure what it was, other than maybe a photo op or something like that for the snowbirds and the bomber.
Well, the snowbirds have been in the news lately because there was a movement afoot to disenfranchise the snowbirds, ground them for a couple of reasons. There have been a couple accidents and stuff over the years, as you're more than a couple, I guess, because it's a high-risk endeavor to be an aerial acrobat pilot. But mainly, as I understood it, those trainers, as they call those aircraft that the snowbirds fly, are very, very old technology. And then the planes themselves are kind of held together with spit polish and baling wire, but they're still really cool. And that airplanes, and the reason they call them trainers is that's how Air Force pilots started their training, is in planes like that. Then they turned it into an audience-pleasing spectacle, and the snowbirds were born. And they're based out west Cold Lake, I think, aren't they, Kevin?
I know for this one they were based at Barrie.
Yeah,
So,
for this flight.
For this flight, yeah. Then they came over to Hamilton, picked up the B-52,
Yeah.
and then flew over. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they are based out in the prairies.
Originally out of Cold Lake, Alberta, yeah. But the story was the fact that there's opposition to that movement to decommission or ground the snowbirds. Not because it's not a viable thing, just because for safety reasons and to upgrade the aircraft. But I have a feeling they're going to keep flying these things until they put to air the new planes. I don't know what the new plane is going to be. Actually, we'll have to chat with somebody about that and find out exactly where that Snowbird or Canada's aerial entertainment team is going to be going next. They're great people. I've met them over the years many times, and the pilots keep rotating, of course. They're different people, but they're just great ambassadors for our country, and they just do great work.
So Lee, this was shot in the parking lot. So here's an overhead map of the Monastery of Mount Carmel Spiritual Retreat, and you can see the Niagara Falls Convention Center is there. There's the Horseshoe Falls right there.
Now, does Loretta Academy still exist up there as well?
I believe the building is there,
but they don't operate.
But I don't believe they operate as a boarding school anymore.
Because the two of them used to be like symbiotic. Like
they are, and they have a lot of property here. As you see, this is the main monastery building. We were actually working, so that video was shot in the parking lot of the Columbus Club.
And why was WeeStream there?
We were helping out the Carmelites. We're in holding, I think, their annual general meeting. So these were fathers and priests from Canada, America, and Central America. So
all conflicting.
All congregating there at the monastery, and there you go. And then they also have the spiritual center. But unfortunately, when you're on, and I'll put the little thing here. When you're on the road, and a lot of people probably know passing this, right? When you pass Mount Carmel, you're actually passing by the rear of the building.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
But if you go back here, that's the building.
Oh, it's a gorgeous piece of architecture. And it's kind of interesting as if you ever go back to your hometown or whatever and say, wow, this is so much different. None of this used to be here. Well, that's what it was like. I mean, this is just a stone's throw from the casino district.
Yeah, so there's the back of the building. That's what we see. But if you walk around the front, it is gorgeous. It used to front on Portage, but with the casino, that's kind of dead-ended.
Yeah.
So this is the chapel in there. I don't want to say you don't. I'm not used to seeing this stuff in Ontario. Usually when you go to Quebec, you find things a little deper rooted.
Yes.
Centuries-old architecture and things like this, and that's what it reminded me.
Yeah, but we have our stuff too. Yeah, and unfortunately, like I said, the build-up around that whole casino district has sort of detracted a little bit from some of this fabulous old architecture, but it's really neat that it's still operating. Thanks for bringing that to us, Kevin. I haven't thought about Carmel in a long time, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, people should make it, the way when you go to Montreal, right, you always go to the famous churches. If you come to Niagara Falls, if you come to Niagara Falls, you should slide by Mount Carmel. It's a beautiful building.
Absolutely. I want to mention our sponsors once again. Really appreciate Grantham Home Hardware for sticking with us through this kind of wet spring, and finally we got some sunshine on the summer. All you have to do is check them out at homehardware.ca, and you can shop by category. There's barbecues and patio furniture and accessories and paint stuffs and all different kinds of Adirondack chairs and just some really cool stuff at really great prices. And of course, as we know, it's gardening season, and there are just a few of the local pieces of flora and fauna you can find at Grantham Home Hardware. So you can do your spring and summer, late spring and early summer shopping at Home Hardware. Jake and Rob, thanks for being a part of this program. We, as they say these days, appreciate you. Verge Insurance Group, Mark Shirk and the gang in business here in Niagara since 1953. So they must be doing something right. For all of your insurance needs, they're the brokers that can put you in touch with the right suppliers. Home, auto, life, business insurance, you pick it, and Verge Insurance can supply it. 2 offices, one over here on Ontario Street in St. Catharines, and again another office in Niagara Falls. Our newest sponsor, Red E Bins. You can call them Ready Bins Niagara. And they are, just want to make sure that I mention all the stuff that I'm supposed to, because Ready Bins at Niagara is a new sponsor for us, and I don't want to get anything wrong. Niagara's easiest bin and dumpster rentals is basically what they are. All-inclusive prices, fast delivery. You can get $50 off your first rental. You can call them at 289-272-5008. And they have bins that will suit just about any space for you. You see some of these massive dumpsters that they say, I could never put that on my place. Well, any place you could park a small car, they've got a bin that'll make that work for you. So reserve your Ready Bin online, readybins.ca. So thank you very much.
Now, Lee, here's a story, and maybe we'll just kind of leave it at this before we get to our musical guest. Our musical guest, I unearthed.
You unearthed?
An act here, born in Niagara, that hadn't been on my radar before, so I'm looking forward to sharing some of their music. It's kind of contemporary alt-rock. With
I haven't seen this name before.
Vocals. It's going to be pretty cool, so we'll get to that in a second. I know you wanted to touch on this. I got to throw that camera up, but then I'll show you some of the comments from the guy charged with this crime.
Okay. So on Wednesday, the 17th, last Wednesday, a week ago today, uniformed officers responded to a school in the city of Thorold in response to a disturbance. Always disturbing when there's a disturbance at a school. Investigating officers learned that a male attended the school and purposefully caused damage to the pride flag displayed outside of the school. As a result of the investigation, 42-year-old Chandler Robinson of Thorold was arrested on that same Wednesday and charged with the following criminal offense: mischief under $5,000. So, the Niagara Regional Police Service, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, they have that division, the EDI, has been engaged and continues to assist with the investigation into this incident. And of course, as they always do, they say anyone with information, contact, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what extra information you might have, because I'm sure they've gathered enough of it by now. Guy goes to a school, defaces a flag or a piece of property or whatever. Yeah, it's a criminal offense. I don't think he's going to hang for it, but it's one of those situations where they've got to charge the guy, and they charge him with mischief under $5,000. So it's like I don't know, I think they call that a misdemeanor. At least they did that in the old days. It's not exactly a criminal code federal offense or anything like that. But the comments that Kevin was talking about, he's going to, I think, scroll up here and let us know.
Well, so this is the actual guy, Chandler Robinson. So you see, 42-year-old Chandler Robinson. So you go to his Facebook page, and all this stuff's available to anybody. And here you go. Anybody want to back a brother up being charged for destroying a pride flag?
Yeah.
So he's quite proud of what he's done.
Proud
Look
of
at that. He snapped off. There you go. He snapped off the whole pole.
Okay. So
this guy, and he's almost like he's.
So the solution, the message he's sending is, if there's something you don't like, just you have carte blanche to destroy it and break it. Well, that's not really a message you want.
Now, as you'll see, the messaging is probably consistent to, on his feed. It's, leave our kids alone.
Yeah. Hey. That's a Pink Floyd song. Hey, teacher, leave our kids alone. Another brick in the wall. Yeah.
And to be honest, Lee, I'll just share my 2 cents on this. These schools and municipalities got to get out of the business of flying anybody else's flag other than their own.
I agree. I don't disagree at all. I mean, why? But again, this is that word that keeps getting bandied about, is the woke society, where you have to support everyone just in case you're afraid of alienating someone. Well, don't support, to go to your point, Kevin, don't support anybody. Support your school, support your province, support your country. Keep politics and social mores and morals out of it. It doesn't belong in the schools or in our public offices or anywhere.
I don't know why the schools feel they need to fly the pride flag.
I don't get it.
And be inclusive.
Yeah. Like, what if I'm a grade 1 or I'm a grade 2? What's that? What does that mean? Now you got to explain that. It's like, where do babies come from? I mean, oh my God, I don't want to talk about that yet.
I know, but people will say that, you know what, that's part of a healthy education and we need to teach people that. Well, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
okay, at what point do you have to teach them that, and whose job is it to teach them?
how about we just get out of the business of supporting all of these,
How?
not fringe groups? Like, why are you flying any other flag other than your own?
I have nothing against the Pride movement, but
No.
why do we need to fly your flag at an elementary school or a high school? Why?
Exactly
Why?
where I'm at. Why?
What is the point? So, and you can't tell me that every part of the faculty and every part of the administration of that school, or even expand it to the board under which the school operates, is supportive of that movement. You can't tell me that that's the case. And it's okay if it's not the case. People have the right. That's why we have freedom of speech and the Bill of Rights and all that stuff, is so that people can believe what they want to believe. But you don't have to parade it in an institution where you're educating our children, one way or the other, either anti or pro. It's like, I couldn't care less what you believe. You believe what you believe. I'll like Thomas Jefferson. I'll leave you with this on this whole topic. Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States Constitution, and I think the second or third president of the United States, said, "I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." And I think that's how we want our society to operate, but not in the public domain. It's not the job of government, and it's not the job of Parliament or the school boards to make that statement. It's up to you yourself to make that statement.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't be inclusive and loving without flying the flag.
You can.
I think I can. I know I can.
Yeah. We all can.
And it just creates all this controversy. I don't know why they just don't get out of the business of flag flying.
Yeah.
Like, what do you stick to your core mandates?
Yeah.
Educate your kids.
The other expression is, don't shove your belief down my throat. That's an old style one, but it kind of still applies. Okay, here we go. Thanks. It was a great show. Thank you very much for Steve Houston, associate coach of Fort Erie International Academy. Fascinating conversation. Heather Fraser, thank you for joining us from downtown, or down in the park by Dufferin Islands there in Niagara. Just a beautiful setting to talk about the now white elephant Ferris wheel. We're going to talk about sometime where the Ferris wheel came from, but now we got to get out of here. So anyway, Kevin Jack, thank you very much for joining us. Go Canada. FIFA your way to stardom. Enjoy the next game. When are they playing Switzerland? Sweden?
3 p.m.
Switzerland?
3 p.m., an hour and a half from now, Lee.
3 p.m. today. Okay, go Canada. Good luck. Moving on to the top 32. We are going to present to you now the Sunshine Express and their song, Unshine. You guys, thanks. It's a pleasure being here. I'm Lee Sterry. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Cheers.